Hi everyone, and welcome to your mid-month. Whoa, bear with me 1 second. My goodness, what's going on with this now? Always something new and exciting. There's a big blob that I kind of tied up of wire. And yeah, we'll try that again. Welcome to your mid-October month Tarot Oracle Love Connection readings. And welcome to the featured sign today, which is the beautiful air element, justice, fairness, Venus ruled. I don't know, how many things can I say about Libra? Just element of air Libra sign. So happy birthday, Libras. We are still very much in your birthday season. And we are still very much in the Mercury retrograde in your sign of Libra season. And we still have Mars in your sign, which is going to be really good for us. It's not its most favorite placement, but it does represent more strength and energy and vitality, and sometimes even a little bit more aggression than we're used to having. Because I know I'm a Libra. I just celebrated my birthday over weekend, and I have these beautiful flowers that you can't see all of them in the frame. But come on, now really, look at this. I love beauty. I know most of the Libras I know do. We are ruled by Venus. We're a masculine sign as an air sign, but we're ruled by Venus. We love all the senses, and I had a beautiful day. We had the most amazing meal, and that has to be a part of it, right? And it was. And it just opened my heart, and relationships are everything. I was with my family. It just was a fabulous day, and I hope that's what's happening for a lot of Libras, even with this retrograde. Because I'll tell you what I've done. I've got a new attitude. And it's taken me some time, but I'm really happy about it because I start to feel it like the day of the shadow aspect, the shadow period, which is before the actual Mercury retrograde date, and then after, as it will be for every time we have a Mercury retrograde. And I'm telling you, I like to write a journal about it and everything, and I always just say, let go, release, relax, don't plan specifically. In other words, be flexible. I have to plan. I have a business. And there'll be changes, and hopefully they'll be safe. And I always put that energy of white light around me, everything I do, anywhere I go. And it really seems to help. I've lost videos, in the last couple of days. I don't know where they went. It makes me laugh. Speech is really affected, though. It's almost embarrassing, but, I just try to push through it because it really is something that happens. Because Mercury, the ruling planet, of Mercury in retrograde, is about the fast moving parts of life, all technology, our mind, our thoughts. And it doesn't always connect to our words, right? So I see it with all the other readers too, and I can just appreciate it that we all understand, and then we get through it. And it'll start stationing, it does station direct on the 18th. So pretty close after I've uploaded all these videos, it will be within the next couple days. And yes, the shadow period will last through about November 3rd, but hey, you still have a lot of beautiful things happening in your season of birthday, and there's a lot of beautiful energies, once again, catered around finding that balance, finding that love of life and friendship again, and not overdoing it, and just, we're used to doing that anyway. It's just, we have a lot of energies in our favor for that. And then we had Jupiter that's going to go station direct in Aquarius, our fellow air sign, and that's a beautiful harmonizing energy. It's a very lucky and abundant and expansive kind of a planet. So, and then yes, Saturn also went direct recently, as did Pluto, after being months in retrograde. So it's about being a little constricted in some ways and keeping our eye on the prize. Not getting too crazy, but once again, reminding me of our balance. Don't overspend, don't underspend, don't overeat, don't undereat. Don't look. It's not that hard, but it's just, and regardless, we will be kept in that mode. Trust me. I have found that to be the case. But it's all for the better. Like if you want to start let's just say a new, going back to school, and you want to get a degree, it's usually 2.5 years. So Saturn tends to stay in each sign for a good 2.5 years, and it's just going to keep an eye on you, and it's really for our best. It's about time management, worthiness, value, and keeping it together and not going crazy and losing interest in all the other things. So I think I've said enough about that. But I do want to find who actually Spirit helps me with this every time. I will toss to see who your highlighted connection is for the second half of October. And Libra, if you have not had a chance to look at your beginning of the month readings, it's always kind of neat to just kind of use as a reference as to what's happened then and how the changes are occurring. And are you feeling that? Are you in sync? Are you resonating? Is it making sense? I mean, all of the above. And then going from there. So the highlighted connection could be a person you're very familiar with now and have a relationship of love connection of some sort. Doesn't have to always be romantic. I always like to make that clear. There's love in every aspect of life, you know, and there's love in many different forms and relationships. So this will be somebody that you may know, you may not, may be coming through with that beautiful new moon in our sign that happened on the 6th when Pluto went direct. I mean, it's not enough to have a new moon in our sign, which we get one time a year, as well as a full moon. But just all these other planets that are so powerful, and they're all about transformation and growing and shaking and moving, and we're cardinal signs, and that's what we like to do. We like to keep busy. We don't want to be kept back or held back. Nobody does. But during that time, we can think more. It's internalized, right? So all of that's happened. It's all been marinating, and now we get to put it back out into the world and really express ourselves, which is what we love to do. And let's see who wants to be a part of that, as well as all of your connections when I read the 4 major categories for you. For you, beautiful Libra, you have Aries. Oh my gosh. Well, that's your polar opposite. It's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful polarity. You can see it right here on the chart. Here's you, and here's Aries, and each sign has a polar opposite. That's always a gravitational pull in our lives, and there is extreme oppositions with them, which also create this incredible magnetizing kind of energy and interest. You know, I absolutely love Aries. I do have Aries moon, the latter degrees, but I'll tell you, the full moon on the 20th is in Aries, so it's about your ability to feel that strength and that power, and you've got Mars there as well. And it's a cardinal sign as well. There's going to be a trine on that day, which is the 20th, as I mentioned. I think it's next Wednesday. And it's just bringing to the forefront our ability to be strong and lead and confident. And that's what Aries is. That's what Aries exemplifies to the max. First sign of the zodiac, bringing in the first season, you know, of spring, starting, initiating power, fire, you know, will, impulsiveness a lot of times, but it's focused a lot about relationships. So there's going to be key components for all Libras, all signs, in regards to the relationships, you know, adding them, subtracting them, you know, getting rid of things that just are not working for us, which is a boundary situation, which is another key part of what's happening this month. And I think for a few years to come, and hopefully before I pass on from this planet, that'll be a real final, you know, gift that I will have, you know, been able to really utilize and put into place. It's a constant thing that I think about, the boundaries, and not feeling like I'm inhibited to speak about them, or, you know, going over anyone else's boundaries. You know, all this stuff like that comes into mind because I think too much as a Libra. But I am going to pull the 4 categories, as I said, and I love it. I love, you know, Mars is the ruling planet of Aries. Mars is in Libra. There's a lot of real beautiful energies for the 2 of you that's already been happening. And it's just going to, that's a powerful day, but it's a positive day. You know, it's going to have a lot of beautiful effects, and I know that. And it's going to shine a light on things that need to be seen. That may have started in the new moon of your sign, Libra. So we shall see, but I feel really good about it. I'm excited about it. So the first category is always the overall energy, bringing you to the reading. And I love it. It's you. It's exactly what we're talking about. It's the Ace of Swords. It's yourself. It's Aquarius energy that's very prominent and has been throughout the year. With, like I said, Jupiter and Saturn in the sign that's now going, well, Saturn already has, and then Jupiter goes station direct until the end of the year. Again, this is very, very magical, very, very opportunistic type of energy, and unexpected things coming through. But of course we manifest all the time, so it may have been things you've been thinking and wishing that you had forgotten about at this point. With the retrograde, you're like, ah, I'm giving up on that idea. I'll just move forward to another one. And yet it could come back and surprise you, and it's going to be fabulous. It has to do with your communication, who you're speaking to. People in authority, when I always, the Aries aspect of things, it is authoritative type of energy. You might be that person at work, or you may have your own business that you have to keep up and be that strong, presence and such. Or, it could be parents and that sort of thing as well. Very important information that's going to lead you in the direction you want to go. Okay, and I love that. That's a great way to start the second half because, there's been some stalls, but that's okay. I hope you've had opportunities to have fun and have vacations, which I haven't, but I definitely am planning. I know they're coming, and I'm excited about that, and I'm healthy, and this is the most important thing to me. I'm really working on that. I think a lot of people will be doing that as well. That's a big part of it, when I speak of the senses and overall well-being. It's our spiritual, mental, and physical. It's a holistic aspect, okay? So the second category is the possible blessings or obstacles for you Libras. And you have the Five of Cups. Okay, this isn't the first time this has come up. So in the Rider-Waite-Smith, depiction of this, it's a fully different one. I am, by the way, I didn't mention it to you, I'm using the OK Tarot deck, which is a very simple, beautiful, straightforward deck. I thought we could use that simplicity now with the changing of the guards and the forward and backward movements of the planets, and just really trying to ground ourselves and feel the balance as it is during a beautiful season for ourselves, our solar return. It's the pink deck I have that represents the fight and cause the whole month for cancer survivors and the cure for cancer. And I'm saying over and over again that it's got to be in our lifetime. It feels so very strong to me that it is, with a predominance of air energy that'll be continually coming forth in the next 20 plus years, which is the information, the ideas, the ability to transform what's happening, medicine, technology, all these things. Well, certainly with Aquarian energy because of being ruled by Uranus, which is the unpredictable, but the one that just invents and starts things that we never would have imagined, right? But that's what it's about. It's a consciousness, a collective that is constantly happening, and new ideas and information comes through. So in the Rider-Waite-Smith, the 5 is 3 cups that are fallen, and there's losses and there's emotional hurt. And I, for one, actually have had 3 very important family members pass in the last 4 years. And then there's the 2 cups that stand behind you, letting you know my 2 sons that are very much alive and well and mean so much to me that I need to focus on that, because life is about life and death and rejuvenating and seasons and all of that. And it's about accepting it and grieving and allowing those losses to have, but never ever forgetting what we do have. And that's what this is about. Okay, so yeah, it could be a blessing or, an obstacle. And everything is a blessing because it's always teaching us and helping us to evolve and hopefully grow and emerge into the best people we could be. And so that's what this is happening, and that's what is happening. And so, yeah, I know that they say that air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarians are, detached a lot of times. I see that in myself, and I think, oh man, I'm feeling it in here. I'm just not. But it's because we want to, keep that separate from our responsibilities and our need to, fulfill our mind ability and thoughts and, expression, if that makes sense. But it's in there, and it's good to let it out. It's good to have that cry, isn't it? It's good to know that there's just so many beautiful things, and to focus on that. That's an emotional state we all have. And so, yeah, that's the possible blessings or obstacles. And it's how we look and interpret our lives and our perspective on things. The third category is that of finances. And that is, of course, about the currency, the money, the need we have to sustain ourselves, our jobs, our family, our loved ones, and feeling stable and secure. I mean, that's always, I think, for the most part, a wish and dream of pretty much everybody on the planet, right? But now, it could also be certainly having to do with your well-being as far as your health and your relationships. And especially in this month, it's so emphasized and such a big, important aspect out there that it could mean that as well. Let's see what the cards have to say. Ooh, the Seven of Cups. Okay, well, what a bunch of options you have, and emotional, creative, like opportunities. And like I said, with this Jupiter moving forward again on the 18th, when Mercury goes station forward, I mean, it's going to be all on for us, okay? It's crazy, not just us, but everybody. But honestly, there's a lot of fulfillment that you can expect to have, and a lot of magic, and a lot of beautiful co-creation energy happening. This is utilizing your intuition, your spirit. It's definitely focusing on how you can create and attract money, doing what you love, what you care about. The money follows, as you always hear. It's true. If you don't look at it as a burden or work, I have to go. What about I want to go? I get to go. I get to be able to get up and go to work. That's a beautiful thing, and a lot of people want that. So yeah, just prepare for... Is it 7 or 8? Oh, it's 8. That's okay. 7 is opportunities, but I'll tell you what 8 is. I got to put those glasses on. 1 cup makes a difference. 8 is a power number. One of the most fabulous in numerology, abundant, manifestational numbers there is. And you're walking away. Here you started with the 5, and you had the, you got to remember, you've got the 2 always standing, and there's always something to be blessed and grateful for. The 8 is walking away from that kind of emotional burden that you carried for I don't know how long. I know how long I have. And I feel myself healing every day, and it feels phenomenal because I asked for that. But I always feel like a good cry is important. My sister, who passed away 2 years ago this Thursday, it's fresh as can be, Of course I'm going to cry. Of course I love her. Of course she's so much a part of me right now still. But allowing that healing to happen, that's the most essential thing. And when you do that, you can open your mind up and your heart and your ability to create the wealth you want on any level that it is you may need specifically and personally. And that's what that's saying. And it feels good, you're allowing that to happen. You have to be the one to make that happen. Everyone has their own time frame. So I like that a lot. And the 7 is opportunities, but this is opportunities and the ability to move forward in the direction you choose, because you're using your heart, and your heart is your strongest intuitive organ and intelligent organ. People think it's the brain. I beg to differ. The heart is so intelligent. So, the saying, I listen to my heart. Yeah, I don't think the heart will ever let you down. The brain sometimes I question. So as a thinker and an air sign, it can fool us, right? And so, yeah, just listen to your heart, and you'll have all the ideas you need to make as much wealth as you want. Well, your last one fell down, but I'm going to see. I don't usually do that, but because it did, this is, and it's interesting. This is the category of surprises and wishes. What surprises are you wanting? What surprises did you get for your birthdays? And what's still coming for the birthdays that are out there? Happy, happy birthday, Libras. And wishes. What have you been able to manifest for yourself? Because I feel like you have the right idea right off the bat. The Ace of Swords, you know what you want. I mean, you're very, very straightforward about that a lot of times. I find the air signs are, they know. They know how to communicate it. They can be very strong and direct about that sort of thing. And they're willing to converse about pretty much everything and see all sides of the situation. May not rush into the situation or decision, but they definitely will make a decision, and it will be final. And then, just putting that heart aspect to there is so essential. So you have both the mind and heart connection. Ooh, and you have the 9 of Swords. This is perfect. The 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is what I was saying as far as your surprises and your wishes. It's what you're thinking. It's what you're thinking, because we as air signs, we can go crazy thinking oh, I want that, but what if this, and what about, remember the time that happened, and I'm not really sure, because if that does happen, how is that going to affect this and that? I mean, then it's all just like, it's all mind. It's the mind game. It's the loops. It's losing sleep. It's the conversations we wish we didn't have because we weren't exactly balanced. That's what this is asking with the financial, which is the wealth card, which is the card that really brings wealth on all areas, as I mentioned. And it's about recognizing that heart over mind, okay, in this circumstance. Don't let your worries and concerns take you away from the most important things that matter to you in your life. You have control of that, and I know you can do it. And the 9 is the completion. So it's time that you're going to stop that. You've decided, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to rely on my emotions and my heart, you know, and I want good sleeps. So yeah, sit and meditate on that, and I promise you that is exactly what will happen, because you're in charge of that. That's something we have control over. Thank goodness. So you've got 2 sword cards and 2 cup cards, which is a balance, which is what you need, and which is what we all need, and which is what's going to function properly for you, and which is going to make a better situation and outcome for you. And you decide on what that is. So I like that a lot, and I think that you have a lot of beautiful opportunities coming through. And you started the solar year with a new moon for a lot of you, and even if it wasn't on that day, it really tends to be way more important for what you were thinking and doing and feeling and wanting, and intentions that were put down for this whole next year for you. And I'm excited. So I'm going to finish with your 2 oracle messages. The first is The Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. And they're incredible, and they're loving, and they're filled with guidance and very powerful information that can really lift you and create really wonderful thoughts and feelings, the good thoughts, okay? And so for you, beautiful Libras, for the second half of October, for all of your relationships in the highlighted connection of Aries, you have the Dragon's Duel. Whoa, well, it's a duel. Inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. Well, there's the conflict with the mind thing, right? Interesting, the duality, the Aries and the polarity, the relationship, the mind, you know, the scales, the balance. This is so perfect because it definitely, well, it could be duality of Gemini as well, your other air sign. Even Pisces, which we've had a fair amount. Well, we have the planet Neptune of, you know, obscurity and cloudiness and, you know, kind of fantasy and not 100% real and, you know, hidden information sometimes. That's been in the sign of Pisces, the other duality sign. So there's the full moon, though. So something's going to be brought to the forefront, and you won't have such a confliction anymore. You'll have the clarity you need. Also with, of course, the retrograde going forward after having been retrograde for a while, and all the outer planets. It is number 23, which is 5. We're in a 5-year. 5 represents challenge and change. And challenge can be a great thing. People thrive on challenge a lot of times. You know, that's what the impetus to get them to the next point in their life. So I never actually mind a challenge either. And they're going to come regardless. Might as well enjoy that we get through them and we learn something each time from them. So I'm going to read to you what it says specifically. But the inner conflict, of course, stuck out. The dragon duel takes place at the proverbial fork in the road. It's both ally and challenger at once. Of course it is. Of course, Libra. And that's where we get to step in and be our Libra selves and take what we need and make sure that we don't allow too much of either of them, right? Because too many great things isn't so wonderful either. And that can take a toll on us. And we know it won't last as well. That's hilarious to me. As it represents the tension of opposites. Well, there's definitely an influence of Aries, but it's a tension that I bring it on. I love it. I have such great debates with Aries, and they're so confident, and they really give me my courage and things back too. And my dad was an Aries. Let's see here now. We experience the duality of faith and doubt, love and fear, right and wrong, black and white. This aspect of your current experience asks you to accept that although you may be going one way, another may call to you to change direction. You never know. That's the Uranus influence in Aquarius. Now is the time to inquire whether it's your ego or your soul leading you. There are always choices in life. Decision making also solves inner conflict. Of course it does. If you're torn between two dragons and the one that you choose to feed will be the one that wins, which is it? If it's not the one that serves the highest of your intentions, deliberately feed the other and the duel will be won in your favor. Okay? So yeah, that's something we always, I think, is just a natural understanding. But sometimes that wavering can be a disruption and a conflict, as it speaks of. And so we're not doing that anymore, right? We know, and we've had time during the retrograde to really kind of sit back and think, that's not happening anymore. And this is what I'm going to do to make it happen. And this is clearly what that energy is saying. So this is the conflict, and we don't want that. So make sure that you allow yourself to sit and really, really be as clear as you possibly can for your sake. Okay? And then you'll always have that help and guidance whenever you need it, and ask for it. So that's pretty special, because that is definitely Libra. Thank you, Spirit. I'll finish with your super attractor manifestation oracle message. Creating the life we want. Every breath, every feeling, and making it good feelings, because what goes out comes back. It's the law of attraction. It is, yin and yang, And that's for good and others. So, if we think bad things are going to come back too. So we always want to watch that and be aware of what our thoughts are. They are very potent. They are energy as well. And for you, Libra, I did ask that we have one I haven't pulled in a very long time. Let's see what comes up. I have not had this in a long time. I love the two hands in, union and the partnership aspect. Wanting more for others puts me into an energy of abundance. I got goosebumps, because it's true. When you're thinking of others, and I know you do, Libra, I know I do, it's just a natural thing. Thinking of others is going to just automatically, as a side effect, help you in ways that you probably wouldn't even imagine. But abundance, for sure. And there's the world, and there's the trust in the stars, and the moon, and the world, the universe, the unlimited capacity and possibilities surrounding you at every moment. So get out of that mind, okay? From one Libra to another, and take a snapshot of this, say this over and over and over again, and watch your energies change and just ignite. And yeah, I love you. I hope this is a wonderful remainder of the month for you. And I'll tell you, when we go into Scorpio season, it's not too shabby. It's your second house of income. So just, putting it out there. And so come on back for your November reading, because I think it'll be really juicy, and we'll be approaching the new series of eclipses and all that good stuff. So until then, take good care, and bye for now.